let us go to number 3. File, New, ActionScript 3.0. You can change the frame rate here to 12 frames per second. Say OK. And now we want to save this. File, Save As. This will be O3 Tutorial and my initials. Save. Now we want to rename Layer 1 Working. On frame 1 of the layer, you want to draw an image of a bird. I think it would be a good idea, since I really want, let's fit this into the window. Since I want to be able to see what's happening, I'm going to make the sky into a blue sky color. And now I'm going to use white for my bird. Okay, so get a nice small brush, get a brush tool, come down and get a nice small brush. And first we want to draw a bird on far right with his wings outstretched. And you can fill them or you can leave them as a line one way or the other. Okay, now we want to press F7 to add a frame. Let's turn on onion skinning. That's down here. Onion skinning is the way that you can see what was on the previous frame, and that way you can add to it. Now we want to put his wings up just a little bit. So frame 1, his wings are outstretched. Frame 2, they're up at a slight angle. So there's his body, and here's his wing. And now we're going to F7, and we're going to have him with his wings as far up as they will go. This is the extreme height of his wingspan. And wings on birds, when they're flying, they often will bounce down a little bit when they reach their height. So let's move him down just a tiny bit by using the arrows. Okay, now we're going to F7 for another. And now his wings are going to move down again. So here, his wings will be moving down. And I'm going to have him tilted down a little bit, similar to before, but I think I'll have him just a little bit different shape so it doesn't get too, well, monotonous. And now we're going to have him have the wings outstretched again. And then we're going to start moving down. So F7, we're going to have his wings start to move down. F7 again, and now we're going to move all the way folded down. So and now one more frame here, and they're going to start moving back up again. I think he'll make a little bit of a rotational move. So now we have all these frames. Let's turn off the onion skinning. Make sure we've got, for the control, we've got loop playback, and let's hit return, and there he is flying. Okay, he's flying in place. Now your first frame and your last frame should be fairly similar, though I've got them rotating a little bit. So I think I don't need actually the last frame. So I'm going to take off the last frame, and you can do that by right-clicking on it or by holding down Shift and pressing F5. Okay, now we've got 8 frames, and we're going to select all the frames by clicking on the last one and shift-clicking the first frame. And now go to Edit, Timeline, Copy Frames. Now make sure you're not going to copy. Don't just copy, because that will only copy the image data and it won't copy the frames. You'll end up with everything on one frame. You don't want that. Copy frames. Go to the library. At the bottom of the library there's a folded over corner new symbol icon. Click on the new symbol icon. You want this to be your flying bird, and it's a movie clip, and that's good. You could also make sure, you could also make it a graphic symbol. Actually, let's make it a graphic symbol. There's a difference between movie clips and graphic symbols that make it well, it's a problematic thing, and I'll talk about it in class. Okay, say OK, and now you want to click on that first frame in the symbol and make sure you have that selected. Otherwise it won't tell you that it has anything. Go to Timeline, go to Paste Frames, and it puts them all in there, okay? And now let's Command S. And then you want to click on the Scene 1, and here we are. Here we've got working. Okay, let's add a new frame above working, and let's call this Flying Bird. And now for Flying Bird, let's give Flying Bird 30 frames. So go to frame 30 and click on frame 30 on the little box and press F5. F5 adds frames with no content, remember. Now, on frame 1, let's put the flying bird right over the other bird, okay? And now we're going to use the tweening, which is something you can do in Flash, and we'll be doing more tweening for the next project. For this one, it's important to realize that when you do your frame by frame straight ahead animation, you can use it for many things. On the last frame, right click, create motion tween, and then get your selection tool, drag it across, Command S. Now press Command Return, and you can see that although the first bird just flies for one flap and stays there, the other one moves and flies across. So let's close that. Check the properties, and you see it's a nice small file. So there you go. That's the Flying Bird tutorial.